Okay, part two of the 𝐂𝐍𝐒 interviewing me. Mike Gross here, youtube.com/Rockin Guitar Lessons 1. Be sure to subscribe, and let's do this. Part two, Mr. 𝐂𝐍𝐒.
One, what an honor, because I think the world of you, dude. I mean, STRYPER was musically and spiritually the right band for me, you know, because prior to that we had Petra and stuff, but I was a kid of the Van Halen generation, so you guys hit that, you know. So for me, it's like right on and very bold with the Lord, but can really play. And you guys weren't copycats, you know, without listing band names, you know. But a lot of Christian bands would kind of, here's the Christian version of this band, or the Christian STRYPER bands. We're STRYPER, and this is what we do. The impact was huge.
Right.
But you know, it's the people that I've met. If you would have told me even this would be happening a couple of years ago, I'd be like, yeah, right, you know, give me a break. But it's crazy. I just got an endorsement with 𝐒𝐏𝐄𝐑 Guitars. Doug Pinnick, who's my hero, one of my favorite rock singers, has hit me up on my channel and thanked me, and, you know, kudos. So, you know, it may as well be Stevie Wonder, because I'm a huge Doug Pinnick fan, you know what I mean?
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then, you know, Kimberly Domain from Boston, guitar player, one of my students on Skype, just countless like musicians from bands. And I guess it kind of surprised me because they already know these songs. I guess, you know, I'd never really put much thought into it. Even the guitar player from Muse said, I did a lesson, which they're an abstract band, but he had mentioned, yeah, I came here to kind of brush up on some of my stuff. So that's an honor, man. It makes me feel good. But it also puts that accountability, Oz, where, because I know I'm not going to get it right every time, dude. But one thing I do not want to do is just put a bunch of throw-togethers. When I first opened my channel, I wasn't sure how to go about it. So I took songs that I played, like Rock You Like a Hurricane, Smoke on the Water, did everything in standard tuning, didn't really fine-tune it, just kind of went off, this is how I remember it goes. And I got beat up, you know, attacked by people on the internet. I'm like, okay, let me see what I can do about this. So now I get all the tunings the same way. Of course, bands will tune different in concert than when they're in the studio. A lot of times that's normal. But, you know, you can't, I also had to realize not to take stuff personal. We're dealing with the internet. You can go over to a Paul Gilbert video watching him play Scarified flawlessly and have 13 dislikes on it. You just shake your head and laugh and go, okay, not their cup of tea. You know, it's not a personal attack.
Right.
So it took a little bit of getting used to, but
yeah, and again, man, I mean, I hear the same thing. I believe it or not, I get plenty of people that say I'm a terrible guitar player. So, you know, you just kind of have to go, whatever.
Yeah, I've had people attack me on the channel like that. That's what that block button's for, right?
Yeah.
You don't like me? Fine.
Yeah.
You like me enough to care to comment and tell me you don't like me, so you must like me enough to do that, you know?
Yeah. Well, you know, hey, and hats off to you for just staying with it and not giving up and, you know, making a go of it for guys that really need to, you know, have what you give. And you obviously are hitting a place, you're filling a place that people really need to have. So it's really great, man. And I really hope that you continue to have a lot of success with it, you know? It's great.
Hey, and I definitely am. Actually, Elliot from 𝐒𝐏𝐃 Guitars had said, a buddy of mine, you know him, Pete Evick from Bret Michaels' band. We're actually buddies now. And
nice guy.
Yeah, he's so nice, dude. And we talk quite often, and he was asking me about my guitars, you know. It's funny, you know, you watch my videos, it's definitely a one-man operation, dude. I mean, I'm not editing this and zoom and putting all the bells and whistles. I hit record, I do the part. If I screw up, I just do it again and then edit the beginning off, do the same on the end.
That's what I do.
Yeah, dude, put in my little bit of edits for a couple reasons, but it wound up being a cool thing because the emails I get, and I have tons of them, dude. I can't even answer all of them, but they appreciate. They say they feel like they're sitting in the room taking a guitar lesson with me, and I think hopefully part of that's the way I teach. I hope, but I think it's also the fact that, you know, it's just like watching a movie and then you're all into it, and here comes the dang commercials, and you got to go find something to do for 4 minutes, and you come back, you just kind of messed up the continuity. So it's like they're coming in for a guitar lesson with me because there is none of those edits. Here's the beginning, I'll talk them through it and hopefully, you know, explain it the best possible way without getting all theory-minded. And when they're done, they feel like they've walked away from a lesson. I get emails all the time like that. It makes me feel good because, for one, Oz, I don't want to turn a 3-hour job into a 9-hour job. You know what I mean? With all the splicing and different camera angles, all that stuff's beneficial. It's nice. I don't see even down the road, if I have that opportunity, that I would even want to do that. I feel like, you know, I started it a way that I like it. You know, we can always get better quality in sound. I'm always open to that. But, you know, when they want to close up, I just walk up there and I go like this. I mean, if that's not close enough, I don't know what to say, you know?
It's just keeping it simple is what you're doing.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I love that. That's the way to do it, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
How many students do you teach privately right now?
On Skype?
Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of trying to filter out. I do have a couple in-home students. I'm trying to filter those out, but it's hard to do that because they get attached to their teacher. So I'm kind of just wait until they're done and want to move on, or get a bunch of F's in school and their parents don't let them come, that type of thing. So I close that door. But right now on Skype,
you don't have to give me exact number, around ballpark.
It's upper 50s.
Okay.
And they're 30-minute lessons and 60-minute lessons. It's a little different though, because in the music stores when I was teaching there, and you know how this works, because I know you've taught guitar too. You try to get your students on the same day, same time, every week. That's how it was at the music store. On Skype, it's different. You know, for one, I'm dealing with time restraints. I got students in France, all across the world, and you know, sometimes they're in their man cave. Sometimes it's on a lunch break at work. It's crazy, the situations and the type of people I teach. You know, doctors and sheriffs and, you know, no brain surgeons yet, but yeah, just a big array of people. But I still try to get them set up on a same day, same time. You know, if you don't, and I learned this the hard way in the early days. I was so excited to get my first student in 1992 because I started out of my home actually. Built up like 13 students and then went into stores and had bargaining chips at that point. Sure, come on in. You pay them room rent, all that stuff.
Sure.
But now I can just be a little more flexible. I'll try to keep the same day, same time, which is probably 90%, 95% of my students. Some students are every other week. Still try to keep them on the same time. And I noticed with the ones that just want to catch a lesson and just, you know, pay for that day or whatever, they forget a couple weeks later for their next lesson, you know. So the ones that are serious about it, I can usually tell, you know, from the get-go. I've made some good friends teaching. I enjoy it. The personal element is still there. And, you know, it's convenient, dude, to be teaching out of my home.
Oh, yeah.
You know, instead of driving to the store 5-6 days a week, you know, which I was doing.
Yeah.
From where I live, you know where I live, the high desert. Used to drive down to Riverside, you know, 6 days a week, and wasn't hitting traffic. But just to have that element removed, that takes, you know, over 2 hours time, which I can apply to home. I'm a family guy too, man. My wife's my best friend, and you know, I got kids that need attention and that. So I feel like the Lord really blessed and opened up the prime opportunity for me to do this. I didn't see it taken off like it did. I really didn't, Oz. I just wanted to whatever I do in life, especially at my age now, but I even felt like this when I was doing construction at 20. I thought, man, I got to be doing something with music. That's all I think about, dude. Even when I was putting roofs on houses, it's like, and I wasn't good at it either, but couldn't wait to get home and play.
Yep.
And there were times that I just couldn't. I came home too exhausted, passed out, went to sleep, had to get up early the next morning. So I get to set my schedule. There's never an early morning, you know, so I can have that musician nocturnal thing going. But, you know, I set up my own schedule, and it really, it's a blessing, dude. I mean, even for those people that can't get in for lessons with me, and I do have a waiting list for people that want specific times, but I don't know if you've heard of them. You probably have, because I've done several of them on YouTube, but they're called CBT lessons and CT lessons. So if they want something, say they want the tabs for something, they don't like the book, because you know a lot of these books are they even get power chords wrong, you know. And which is a shame, you know. People want to learn something,
right?
And usually you think they want to learn it right. So I'll do the handwriting of the tabs and timestamp it with the song so they can match it up, and put the pick directions and all the techniques and the slides and everything that's used in that song. So that's like another option that I offer. And I have students, one of them's a huge STRYPER fan. What's up, Jason, if he watches this, but man, he wants another STRYPER song, and really, really cool dude. But so it's weird. So I've got like my regular students on Skype, and then I've got my what I call CBT and CT students, you know?
Right.
Got 3 months go by, and then this one dude, I just saved him my iPhone. You know, if he's a CT student, which is a custom tablature, doesn't want a video, just the tabs, you know, he'll send me riffs from songs, you know, hey, I need the chorus for this, and then the solo for this song from this band. He just gives me random ones. So those are things, Oz, that I never saw coming. You know, I did foresee, actually, Oz, I didn't really foresee teaching on Skype when I started this. The idea was to build up the fan base, which on YouTube now is 107,000, which, yeah, it blows my mind. And it grows. YouTube's like a science. You can go and check out the analytics and stuff. There's about 90 to 95 subscribers a day at this point, you know. There's other teachers with far more, you know, that have been doing it longer. But, you know, I ain't going nowhere. This is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to continue doing it.
Yeah.
I love it. But the goal was, like I said earlier, was to have YouTube, start the website, and for those that wanted extra instruction, you know, they would join the website, which I do have going now. The teaching came actually from my YouTube subscribers' suggestions, saying, hey man, do you ever think about teaching on Skype? I'm like, what's Skype? What is it? You know what I mean? You were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
I don't know work any of this stuff, you know, so.
Yeah.
So once I started that, you know, it just opened up the door again for those that want the personal, private, one-on-one lessons, and it's cool, Oz, because it's around the world. So yeah, basically to wrap it up, I mean, it's and it fluctuates, my student count. It's in the mid to upper 50s, 30 to 60 minutes per week. Most of my students, they're weekly, and I have a few that are every other week, you know.
Yeah.
Week 1, week 3, week 1 and week 3, and then I have to fill in week 2 and week 4.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it's cool.
Mike Gross from RockinGuitarLessons.com. Interesting story he has, and a great guy too. So this is part 1, the end of part 1. You have part 2 and part 3. Go check him out and see the rest of his story. We'll catch you there.
Alright guys, so that was actually, this is part 2 because I'm recording it off of his recording. So, but he said there was a part 2, 3, and 4. I haven't even seen those, so I need to hit him up. Alright, be sure to subscribe if you haven't. Thanks you guys.